Hey guys, Danny Story here with Battleborn Media Network, sitting down with our state assemblyman, John Ellison. John, how are you today?
Good,
Good,
good.
good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, not a problem. We got some great spring weather out there, so trying not to swim into the shop today. So that's been kind of interesting. So just wanted to sit down with you for a couple minutes. You're headed back to Carson City, which essentially will be your last week in the as our state assemblyman in the regular session, correct?
Yes, in the session, yeah.
Just
I'll still be your assemblyman for the next year.
for the next year. So that's very good to hear. So what do you think has been the biggest accomplishment that's came out of this session? Being it's been an uphill battle the whole way. What would you think is the biggest accomplishment that your party or you were able to make happen out of this session?
I think some of the best things we could do, we didn't have the votes. And then you have Vegas that votes a lot different from the rules. So some of the biggest things is that we could hold bills hostage. And we did that and very successful. So we could get some stuff in some of the bills that were really bad and make them to where we could tolerate it. But that was important. Because if them bills would have hit the way they were, you'd have lost a lot of your Second Amendment rights, and you'd have lost some of your First Amendment rights. So I'm glad that everybody stayed together on them and fought hard.
Good. So being that it is the last week, do you have any unfinished business that you're going to be concentrating on, or is there anything you can even really accomplish this week, or is everything kind of a foregone conclusion?
Well, there's going to be a few two-thirds bills coming over. I don't know what they are yet because they were working on them yesterday. So we're hoping that any of them two-thirds bill we can take and we can vote no if we can hold everybody together and stop them bills. But right now, most of it's all finance. It's the budget for the state of Nevada and what they're going to finance out of them projects and what they want.
Gotcha. So last week, we kind of heard you talking yesterday. It's been an uphill battle with, actually being able to be on the floor, being able to, meet in groups and whatnot. Tell us a little bit about what happened this last week as far as some people not being able to allowed to vote on the floor.
Well, what they did, they finally lifted the mask. That you didn't have to have masks on the floor, but only if you had the shots. Well, not everybody took them shots.
Right.
But we're still tested every Monday, and we have temperature tests every day. So it's not like we don't do everything we can to be safe.
Right.
For not only us, but anybody around us. So they come in 2 days before sign and die on second house. It said, no, you're either going to wear a mask or you're not coming on the floor. Now, here's your three choices. You can either leave the building, you can either go to your room and vote from on the bills, or you can wear a mask on the floor. My problem is some of the computers that they have up in the rooms, you have a hard time hearing everything, and it breaks up. And it has a delay, and that's probably the worst thing, is the delay. So I chose, if I'm going to represent my constituents at the best of my ability, I'll have my ass in that chair. I don't care if they put a helmet on me. I'm still going to vote for them bad bills against some of them bad bills. And we did. And one woman did. Jill went up and she voted from her office. Very good job. She had to have two people, one watch a monitor in another room and then her work on the computer. But she did a good job. She got delayed a couple times, but she got her vote in. And then one decided it was not worth the trouble, and she left the building. And that was her decision.
Sure. I'm curious.
We did try to fight it. I went to legal. I went to LCB and tried to contest it. I also went to leadership on both houses. Or both speakers there, the minority and the majority, tried to get them to bring a bill back up and vote on the floor. Now, every Republican voted to keep one person on the floor, but like I said, we don't have the votes. So they could have put a mask and stayed, or they could have went to their office and still voted. So, but I did everything in the world trying to challenge it, and I just couldn't get it done.
So curious. So you say there was 3 people that were singled out. Were they all Republicans?
Yeah. And I kept asking, I want to see that, I want to say, you have never asked one person if they had a shot or if they've been vaccinated. Not one that I can find. So how do they know who has and hasn't?
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I asked for a second vote on the floor, and I couldn't get it.
Gotcha. So just that's a good segue here. So talking about the vaccine, I got word yesterday over the last couple of days that some Elko County School District schools have been announcing to the students that they can get the vaccine at school without their parents' permission.
I have a problem with that, big time. And the parents should be involved in anything to do with their children. And that's a family decision, not a teacher or not our governor. And so I talked to the sheriff last night. I got a call into a couple commissioners. I haven't heard back from them. But I think that is not the right of the schools to vaccinate anybody. And you've seen what's happened around the nation, how many people actually had bad effects to the shot. Now, you had the basketball hero in Salt Lake City. He'll never be the same the rest of his life.
Right.
And that was his parents' choice. But what happens if it wasn't?
Right. Right. To me, and I'm glad my kids aren't in school anymore because I'd be up in arms 100%. But I mean, is that even legal?
Well, I don't think it is, and we're going to find out, and that's what I'm trying to do. But the county commission has got more power what they think. They can actually step in right now, and that's what they need to do. And I'm sure Elko County, we got a good county commission. We just got to say, hey, you need to get involved in this. And that's why I was hoping I could hear from a couple before I left town. But if not, I'm hoping they'll call me on the way back.
Gotcha. And that perfectly segues into my next question. We were at a meeting yesterday, the Nevada Coalition of Voters. How do you talk a little bit about the movement that started over there in Battle Mountain and is now spilling over here into Elko County, and how important it is for people to jump on board with that?
I was there, and it was great. You were there. And there was probably, 1 million people viewed across the nation.
Yes.
And the people are sick and tired of this. You can push so far, but eventually the push is going to go the other way. And what these people are saying, we don't want fights, we don't want arguments, but don't take away our rights.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. You've lost more rights in this country in the last 3 months than you have in a lifetime. So I'm hoping that every one of these counties will wake up. You see counties right now across Idaho, Oregon, Oregon, was it Washington? Idaho. There's 3 states right now talking about moving into Idaho because
Northern California.
These people are fed up. God dang, what more rights can you take? Look at, they're burning our cities down, and they're doing nothing to these people. I think that them guys did a great job in Battle Mountain, and I was happy to be there and I was happy to speak. And I look forward to people having the dialogue, try to stop this stuff.
And that's definitely going to be important, as ITOR declared that Elko County, he's going to push for Elko County to become the next constitutional county. So there's a meeting on June 2nd, I believe, at the county commission office. So that's super important that people get out and attend that.
I hope I can be there.
Good.
We don't know what, I can't remember what sign and die day is. We have 8 days, so it'll probably be on the weekend.
Gotcha. So yeah, moving into this last week here, just kind of wanted to maybe get you to look back a little bit and reflect on the past, 12 years?
12 years.
Going on 12 years as the state assemblyman. Do you feel like that you've gotten to accomplish a lot? Do you feel like you're leaving a bunch behind? Just kind of reflect on that a little bit.
I can tell you, I learned a lot from Assemblyman Carpenter, and I love him to death. And he was a mentor, and he read every bill, and he used a pencil on every bill. He wouldn't use his computer. But I learned a lot from John Carpenter. I learned a lot from the county commission when I was county commission, and NACO in the city also. So the biggest things I think one of the biggest accomplishments I think I did, it took me 3 sessions to get a home rule change. And they run by Dillon Rule forever, which give the legislature all the power. Well, if you had anything to do that was in your county or city, you'd have to go to the legislature, and you had a 50-50 chance of that bill dying. So I finally got home rule done. And what that does, it puts some of that power back into the cities and the counties, that the people in their counties can vote for what they think is important. And I think that was one of the greatest things that might accomplish, is that on the last third session, it was at the last 2 or 3 minutes that bill was passed.
Oh, wow.
That's how close it was from dying. But I seen it up here this session. If it wasn't for home rule, some of them counties, Clark County would have had a big trouble.
Right.
So it gives it back to the people. The people in the counties are the strongest. So had a lot of Second Amendment bills that we got passed through. And there was a president once said, it says, "Those that turn their guns into plows will soon plow with guns." And that stuck in my mind and heart forever. It's a right we have. It doesn't mean you're going to go out and shoot everybody, but they better read what the Constitution of the United States says. It not says it's a gun to go protect yourself or whatever. It's to remove tyrants, and that's what that bill's about. But we have the right to have self-protection, and that's so important. And we're losing it every day. There's bills up here that we got stopped every session that would have done that. We couldn't stop the red flag bill, but we got a lot of it taken out.
Good deal. So you've got a granddaughter that's getting ready to graduate, and she's kind of been she's watched you over the past 12 years as she's grown up. She's watched you in the legislature, and we had her on the show the other day and kind of asked her if she thought politics was in her future. Do you see her going along that line, or do you see Jocelyn doing something different?
I hope she does, and the reason is she's really smart.
Yes.
And Michelle's really smart. So they know a lot. They understand the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. They also understand the boundaries of the cities and the counties. They also understand that rural counties is the ones that's getting beat on. They also understand mining and business. So do they have a little shoe up? Yes, they do. They're very smart, and it's up to them. I just hope they do.
Right.
I'm being asked to run for a separate office. I won't announce that yet, but we'll see what's going to happen in the future. But you never know. And with redistricting, the Democrats are going to try to do everything they can to lose a senator and maybe 2 assemblymen in rural Nevada. That's what this is all about.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
And if it does, Nevada, rural counties got to look at what's best for Nevada. Is, do we need to follow Idaho? What do we need to do?
Right.
But that's going to have to be up to the people,
right?
Not me.
And Jocelyn's age group of people. We need the young
right.
people
we
to get
need
involved.
The young people. We need the Spanish people out there. They have a lot of knowledge of history that a lot of people don't. So we need people of all color, all race, and we need people with these youth that are coming up. But I tell you what, the poison they're getting in college is awful. And they have to be able to walk into there and understand that they're getting fed the bad stuff.
All right. Well, that kind of kills my last question, but but my last question was going to be what's up next for John Ellison in politics. But I assume that we're probably going to see you not go anywhere anytime soon. Is that fair to assume?
I always listen to what the people tell me to do. 100%. Matter of fact, I would have never run for county commissioner if Charlie Myers went in front of a camera and said, "John's running for county commissioner." I walked out. What? So we did, and we won. And then when Carpenter asked me to consider running for state assembly, we did, and we won. We've won every race since. We've run every city race. We've won every county race. We won every legislative race. Only because of one thing. We have an open door policy, and we believe that 100%. We believe in the conservative values of our state and our country. And we believe in the people. But I have the I have so many people call me every day, even during the legislation time, or come into my office and are involved. So that's why I think we've been so lucky, is we're involved with our community and we're involved with our people. And it doesn't mean you always agree on something, but you can always sit down and say, well, how do we get there, or what's going to happen?
Absolutely.
But I've been blessed. God's blessed me 100%. And even though we've had battles up there at the legislature that were nasty, I had one the other night that my attaché was ready to call ledge police in, because I mean we really went toes to toes and nose to nose, because they took away the rights of the people for the unions out of Clark County.
Right. Well, I mean, that's a good enough answer for me, because as long as it's up to the people of Elko County, I don't think your political career is going to end anytime soon. So we appreciate you, John, everything that you've done for us in the past, 12 years, well, your whole political career. Thank you for representing our district and representing us, and good luck in this past week, and maybe we can kill a few more bad things and get a couple of the good things
Right.
rolling through, and maybe a little bit money for Elko County.
We're hoping. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
All right, John. Good luck over there. And then we'd just like to remind everybody that the 4th of July festival will be going on at the Elko County Fairgrounds, and Battleborn Media Networks will be helping out the Ellisons and everybody out there. So get your box seats now, and let you get a hold of us and let us know how you can help and make this 4th of July thing go out with a bang. So.
And there's another group I want to thank too, is the Lions Club. Lions Club, they do the financing, so any checks that come in that don't make it to the Elko 4th of July make it to the Lions Club, and they work their tails off. And then of course they'll be live, it'll be a live broadcast with the choreographing, and I guess they're already working on that, and who's going to do that, and I think Paul Gardner does that, and they put it on the air for them 3 stations, so I thank him too. But I thank you guys is stepping up and getting in that booth, and I tell you what, it's going to take the knowledge that Charlie Myers brought forward. So you guys, good luck, and I know you do a great job.
All right. Thanks, John. Appreciate it, and good luck over in Carson City.